I'd like to talk to you about the witch soul, particularly the way we talk about the witch soul in the Temple of Witchcraft. In the Temple of Witchcraft, in some of the initiatory poetries and rituals that we do, we talk about the spirit of witchcraft, the consciousness of witchcraft, as manifesting as a soul of witchcraft. Sometimes we use borrowing some of the tradcraft symbolism of the one sorcerer, the idea that there is one sorcerer that permeates the spirit of magic. Another way we sometimes describe it as the first witch and the last witch and all witches in between, and that we are expressions of this one witch as one of the ones in between. We're between the first witch and between the last witch, yet there's a spirit of witchcraft that runs through all those who are witches, all those who identify as witches, even some people who maybe don't identify as witches, but fulfill the function of witchcraft in their lives. They have the orientation of witchcraft. And so when we talk about this spirit of witchcraft, some people think of it as the spirit of magic itself. The Egyptians called both the god of magic and magic itself as Heka. And this idea of the personification of magic is one way we might think of the one sorcerer, the witch soul. Some think of the witch soul as the expression of the world soul, the anima mundi, the soul of the earth, the soul of the cosmos. We often think of a lot of the witchcraft-related goddesses or goddesses of the mysteries as the embodiments of the soul of the cosmos. Figures like Hecate, Demeter, Hestia, Vesta, all play roles in different mystery traditions as the embodiment of the cosmic soul. But we think of it specifically as not just the soul of the world, but the expression of magic or witchcraft itself. And whenever a witch comes into being, whether it be through birth or initiation or a little bit of both, there's the witch soul present in the complex of consciousness that makes us ourselves, that makes us unique. Sometimes I like to compare it to these ideas of consciousness in other religious traditions. So in a lot of the New Age traditions that are influenced by Christianity, we sometimes talk about not so much Christ as the figure Jesus of Nazareth, but Christ consciousness. So I had teachers in the theosophical traditions that talked about how we're all seeking Christ consciousness. We're all seeking that state of awareness that embodies unconditional love. I don't know if I was seeking that, but I find that that's an interesting way of looking at it. Or I think I was seeking it, but I was not necessarily seeking it under the title of Christ consciousness. So I had a theosophical teacher who said, well, it doesn't matter what you call it. You could call it Krishna consciousness. You could call it anything you like, you know. And it was interesting because the words I wanted to use didn't quite fit the spirit of what they talked about, you know. And then studying Buddhism, we talk not necessarily about Buddha consciousness, but about Buddha nature, and the idea that everything has an inherent Buddha nature. And the practice of Buddhism is revealing that Buddha nature to become more and more skillful, more and more mindful, more and more compassionate, more aware of the true nature of reality from a Buddhist perspective, means to embody and to reveal your Buddha nature. And I really like that idea too, but I'm not necessarily a Buddhist, although I have great respect for the teachings and technology of the rituals of Buddhism and the practices and paradigms. I'm a witch. So I'm not seeking Christ consciousness. I'm not necessarily seeking Buddha nature, but I think I am seeking the soul of the witch. I'm seeking to embody my part of the first witch, last witch, one witch. I'm seeking to embody the one sorcerer through the spirit of magic. So when we talk about this spirit of the soul of witchcraft or the witch soul, I think it's the unifying consciousness that underlies all traditions and all practices and all expressions of witchcraft. And here in the Temple of Witchcraft, we tend to focus on honoring that, recognizing that, and trying to embody it.